one. We're gonna end off the podcast with these last two subjects. Which one you want, Dev, between Reggie Bush or Derrick Henry?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, the biased Clemson fan gonna come at me. Give me Reggie Bush because what he did to my team was kind of, embarrassing. I was like, So, reason why I'm going Reggie Bush because I'm a fast guy. Like I love it on track field. I'm biased towards speed. I just think Reggie Bush was super dynamic and like electric and like what he did in the football field was absolutely insane. He can run between the tackles, catch the passes, be a pass catcher. I think Reggie Bush by the slight edge because of the explosiveness and looseness. Give me Reggie. But there's not discrediting Derrick Henry because he's also it's more like a preference on which one you want. Like you want the power or you want the finesse.
I like Reggie because he was more elusive, though. I mean, Derrick Henry. I mean, he had the power, but he had speed, though. He had speed, and I mean, Reggie. I think Reggie was more dynamic, not only with the running, but also on special teams too, though. I mean, he was nice in those days. I mean, when that college football game came out, I still play that college football game. That he was just nice, man. He was that dude coming out of USC. And we got one last one. It's a tough one for you, Dev.
Bet.
Cam or Vince?
I'm gonna go with Cam. It's tough, but I think what Cam would impress me more is because the loaded offense that wasn't really a great. He didn't have as much talent as he did. I think Cam Newton had one of the greatest years we ever seen. Like he was Auburn. Like the way he carried that offense, the way he was able to elevate his team in the SEC. I think just Cam Newton was just more. What Cam Newton did impress me a little bit more.
I think with Cam, I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, the lack of talent he had around. I mean, his wide receivers: Darvin Adams, Terrell Zachary, Emery Blake, Cody Burns. God rest his soul, Philip Letzenkirk, the tight end, and the running backs were Mario Fannin, Michael Dyer, Antonio McCaleb. Cam was by far the best player on that team, played in the best conference in college football. He came back from I think it was like a 17-point deficit against Alabama at Alabama. I mean, he was going through a lot of scrutiny at the time because of the whole play for play scandal with him and his father. But 30 touchdowns on the air. He also had 20 on the ground. He also had a receiving touchdown. He was clearly that dude, 6'5", 6'6", 250 pounds. That 49-yard run, touchdown run he had against LSU when Patrick Peterson was trying to drag him down, but it wasn't enough to stop him from getting to the end zone. But Vince Young, man, that national championship game he had against USC, that's still one of the greatest college football performances ever. I mean, Dev, it's right up there with your boy Deshaun Watson at Alabama.
Yeah. No, I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah, because Deshaun Watson, the first year when he lost to Alabama, he was
better.
Yeah,
he was better the first year, in my opinion.
I thought the second year he got better. He was better. No turnovers. He put up more yards. He put up more touchdowns, and you had the game-winning touchdown pass.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson really should be up. I think his name should be brought up a lot more when it comes to the greatest quarterbacks discussions in college football history. That's just me. That's not being a biased Clemson fan. I think what he showed in regular season, I think him elevating the playoffs as well in the biggest stage, set his name apart too.
Right. But man, I mean, Deshaun was that truth, and of course later on you did have Trevor Lawrence, and then the first year, he torched Alabama that year. But Deshaun, those two national championships that stood out to me. Vince Young is right up there, but I give the edge to Cam. I think Cam had a lot to work, didn't have that much to work around him at Auburn. His head coach was Gene Chizik, who was known for defense. I mean, but he did have Gus Malzahn as an offensive coordinator. I think Gus Malzahn was a good offensive coordinator who ultimately later became a head coach at Auburn, who took the Tigers to the national championship. but lost to the Florida State Seminoles, I think, back in 2014. So he proved to be, he was a pretty good coach, really good offensive coordinator during his time there. But Cam, I just think what he did, how he did it, how he didn't have that much to work with, the competition he had against in the SEC, and how dynamic he was. Cam was just as dynamic as Vince Young.
Oh yeah, he
So
was at the tank.
yeah, so that's how I look at it.